I, 29F, got engaged 3 months ago with my late grandmother's ring. My sister, 32F, recently lost her own engagement ring and is now demanding I give her mine, temporarily, until she can replace hers. When I refused, she told our entire family that I'm being selfish and that Grandma would have wanted me to share. But what she doesn't know is that Grandma specifically left this ring to me for a reason, and that reason changes everything. My sister stood in my kitchen, crying about her lost engagement ring, then looked at my hand and said, "You should give me yours until I can afford a new one. It's not like Grandma's around to know the difference." I'm 29 years old, and 3 months ago, my boyfriend Jake proposed to me with the most beautiful ring I've ever seen. It wasn't expensive by modern standards. No massive diamond, no platinum band, nothing that would make strangers gasp at a cocktail party. It was a delicate gold band with a small sapphire surrounded by tiny diamonds, Art Deco style from the 1940s. It had belonged to my grandmother, Helen. Grandma died 2 years ago at 87. She'd been sick for a while, cancer, the kind that moves slow but steady, giving you just enough time to say everything you need to say and nothing you don't. In her final weeks, when she was still lucid, she'd called me to her bedside. "I want you to have my engagement ring," she'd whispered, her voice thin as paper. "Not for now. For when you find the right person. When you know it's real." "Grandma, I can't." "What about Lily?" Lily was my older sister. The one who'd gotten married at 25 to her college boyfriend, Chad. The one who'd had the big wedding, the house in the suburbs, the 2 kids. The perfect life. "Lily has her ring," Grandma had said firmly. "This one is for you. Just you. Promise me you'll keep it safe. Promise me you won't let anyone pressure you into giving it up." It seemed like an odd thing to say at the time. Why would anyone pressure me? But I promised. She died 3 days later. The ring sat in my jewelry box for 2 years. I'd take it out sometimes, hold it up to the light, remember Grandma's face when she wore it. Grandpa had proposed to her in 1953 in a park in Chicago. She used to tell me the story, how he'd been so nervous he dropped the ring twice before getting it on her finger. But it fit perfectly once he did, she'd say, smiling. Like it was always meant to be there. When Jake and I started talking about marriage, I showed him the ring. "My grandma wanted me to have this," I told him. "If you're okay with it, I'd love for this to be my engagement ring. It means more to me than anything we could buy." Jake had held it carefully, examining it like it was made of glass. "It's perfect," he'd said. "Your grandma had excellent taste." He proposed 2 weeks later at the same park where Grandma and Grandpa used to walk. Slipped that ring on my finger under an oak tree. It fit perfectly, like it was always meant to be there. My sister Lily has always been complicated. Growing up, she was the golden child. Straight A's, captain of the volleyball team, homecoming queen, full scholarship to college. I was the weird, artsy one who spent too much time reading and not enough time being social. Mom and Dad adored Lily. She could do no wrong. Even when she'd borrow my clothes without asking and return them stained, Mom would say, she just wanted to look nice. Don't be selfish. When she got engaged at 24, the whole family went into planning overdrive. Mom spent $45,000 on the wedding. Dad walked her down the aisle crying. It was everything Lily had ever dreamed of. Her ring was massive. A 2-carat diamond that Chad had gone into debt to buy. Lily loved showing it off, angling her hand just right in photos so the light would catch it. "It's a real engagement ring," she'd said once when she saw Grandma's ring on my teenage finger. I'd been trying it on, imagining my own future. Not like those vintage things. Something modern. Valuable. Grandma had been in the room. Her face had gone cold. "Vintage things have stories," she'd said quietly. "They have history. They matter more than their price tag." Lily had rolled her eyes. "I should have known then." The trouble started 6 weeks ago. Lily called me, sobbing. "I lost my ring," she cried. "It's gone. I don't know where. Maybe at the gym. Maybe at the grocery store. I can't find it anywhere." "Did you check with the gym? File a report?" "Yes. I've called everywhere. It's just gone." And Chad is furious. He spent so much money on it, and I just lost it. "I'm sorry, Lily. That's awful." Insurance will cover some of it, but not all. And it'll take months to get the payout. And I can't wear nothing. People will ask questions. They'll think Chad and I are having problems. So, wear a different ring temporarily? Like what? Some cheap thing from Target? I'm not going to embarrass myself like that. I didn't know what to say. So I said nothing. I'll figure something out, Lily said and hung up. I thought that was the end of it. 2 weeks later, Lily showed up at my apartment. No call. No text. Just showed up on a Saturday morning while I was making coffee. We need to talk, she announced, pushing past me into my kitchen. Okay? She sat at my table and put her hands flat on the surface, her left hand conspicuously bare. I've been thinking, she started, about my ring situation. Did insurance come through? They will, but it's taking forever. And in the meantime, I look like I'm not married. People at work are asking questions. It's humiliating. I'm sorry, but I'm not sure why you're telling me this. I need to borrow your ring. I stared at her. What? Your engagement ring. The one from Grandma. I need to borrow it until my insurance money comes through, and I can replace mine. Lily, that's my engagement ring. I'm wearing it. You can get a cheap placeholder for a few months. No one at your job knows the difference. But I need something nice. Something that looks real. It is real. And it's mine. It's a family heirloom, Lily corrected. It should be shared among family. Grandma specifically left it to me. Grandma left it to the family. You just got it first because you're younger. But I'm the one who's married. I'm the one with kids. I'm the one who needs it right now. That's not how inheritance works. I'm your sister, Lily interrupted, her voice rising. I'm in crisis. My marriage is under strain because I don't have a ring. And you're sitting here with Grandma's ring that you barely even wear. I wear it every day. And you won't even let me borrow it for a few months? What kind of sister does that? The kind who was specifically given this ring by Grandma with instructions to keep it safe. Lily's eyes narrowed. Instructions? What instructions? I hesitated. Grandma's deathbed conversation felt private. Sacred. She told me to keep it safe. That it was mine. She was dying. She probably didn't know what she was saying. She knew exactly what she was saying. Lily stood up. Fine. Be selfish. But when Mom finds out you refuse to help your own sister in her time of need, don't expect sympathy. She left. I called Jake immediately. She wants your ring, he said, incredulous. The one I proposed with? Temporarily, she says. Until insurance comes through. And you said no? Of course I said no. It's my engagement ring. From my grandmother. Why would I give that to her? You wouldn't. This is insane. Please tell me you're not actually considering it. I'm not. But she's going to tell my parents. And they always take her side. Then let them take her side. That ring is yours. End of story. The family storm hit that evening. Mom called first. Lily tells me you refused to help her. She asked for my engagement ring, Mom. I said no. She asked to borrow it temporarily during a crisis. It's my engagement ring. I'm wearing it. I'm not giving it to her. It's a family heirloom. It should be available to family members who need it. Grandma specifically left it to me. Your grandmother left a lot of things to a lot of people. That doesn't mean we can't share resources during difficult times. This isn't a casserole dish, Mom. It's my engagement ring. You're being selfish. Lily is married. She has children. She has a position in the community. She needs a ring. You're just engaged. You don't even have a wedding date yet. That doesn't make my engagement less valid. I'm not saying it does. I'm saying you should prioritize family over jewelry. The jewelry is family. Grandma's family. And she gave it to me. I think you need to reconsider your priorities, Mom said coldly. Lily is your sister. She's in trouble. And you're choosing a ring over helping her. I'm choosing to keep the ring my grandmother gave me over lending it to someone who lost a $15,000 diamond because she wasn't careful. Mom gasped. How dare you blame her? I'm not blaming her. I'm just not fixing her problem for her. We'll discuss this at Sunday dinner, Mom said. Your father, and I expect you to come prepared to be reasonable. She hung up. Sunday dinner was an ambush. I walked into my parents' house and found Lily, Chad, Mom, Dad, and my Aunt Karen, Mom's sister, all sitting in the living room like a tribunal. Sit down, Dad said. I sat. Your mother tells me you're refusing to help your sister, Dad started. I'm refusing to give her my engagement ring. Temporarily loan, Lily corrected. For a few months. Why can't you just buy a cheap replacement ring? I asked. Target has nice ones for $50. Because I'm not wearing a Target ring, Lily snapped. I have a reputation. I have a professional life. I can't show up to client meetings with a $50 ring from Target. But I can. You work from home doing graphic design. No one sees you. My fiancé sees me. My friends see me. I see me. Aunt Karen jumped in. I think what your sister is trying to say is that she's in a different life stage. She has different needs. And family should help family. I'm not stopping her from getting help. I'm just not providing my personal engagement ring as that help. It's not just your ring, Mom said. It's a family ring. Your grandmother's ring. Which she gave specifically to me. So you've said, Lily muttered. Convenient that Grandma's not here to confirm that. Are you suggesting I'm lying? I'm suggesting that maybe you misunderstood. Maybe Grandma meant for it to be shared among granddaughters. She didn't. How do you know? This was it. The moment I'd been avoiding. Because she called me to her bedside 3 days before she died and told me this ring was specifically for me. She told me not to let anyone pressure me into giving it up. She said, promise me. And I promised her. The room went silent. She never said that, Lily said, but her voice wavered. She did. You can believe me or not, but that's what happened. Why would she do that? Mom asked. Why would she specifically exclude Lily? I don't know. You'd have to ask her. But she did. Lily's face was red. This is ridiculous. She's making this up to keep the ring to herself. I'm not making it up. Then why didn't she mention it in her will? Why didn't she write it down? She gave me the ring directly before she died. There was no need for it to be in the will. How convenient, Lily said again. Dad cleared his throat. Regardless of what your grandmother may or may not have said, I think we can all agree that the loving, family-oriented thing to do would be to help your sister. By giving her my engagement ring. Temporarily. No. Why are you being so stubborn about this? Mom demanded. Because it's mine. Because my grandmother gave it to me. Because my fiancé proposed with it. Because I wear it every day, and it means something to me. It would mean something to me too, Lily said quietly, fake tears starting. It's from Grandma. I loved her too. I miss her too. And you're hoarding her memory like you own it. I'm not hoarding anything. I'm wearing the ring she gave me. You're being cruel, Aunt Karen said. Family shares. Family helps. Your grandmother would be disappointed in you. That hit something deep in my chest. My grandmother told me not to give this ring up. She knew. Somehow, she knew someone would ask for it. And she told me to keep it. So that's what I'm doing. I stood up. I'm leaving. This conversation is over. If you walk out that door, Mom said, you're choosing that ring over your family. No. I'm choosing to honor my grandmother's wishes over your pressure. I left. The next week was hell. Text messages from family members I barely knew. Your sister needs help and you're refusing? This is so selfish. I can't believe you won't share Grandma's ring with your own sister. Family is more important than jewelry. My cousin Emma called. I heard about the ring thing. That's messed up. Finally, someone who understands. Yeah, you're being really selfish. Lily's your sister. I hung up. Then my brother-in-law Chad called. Look, he said, I don't know all the family drama, but Lily's really struggling. She cries every night about this ring thing. Is there any way you could reconsider? Chad, it's my engagement ring. I know, but she's my wife. And she's falling apart. The stress is affecting our marriage. The kids have noticed. That sounds like something you two need to work out together. We're trying. But you could help. You could fix this. By giving him my grandmother's ring. Just temporarily. Why is everyone saying just temporarily like that makes it okay? It's my engagement ring. Would you give your wedding band to someone temporarily? That's different. It's not different at all.
He sighed.
Lily said you'd be like this. Like what?
Selfish. Stubborn.
That you've always been jealous of her. Jealous.
Yeah.
That you've always resented her for being the successful one. The married one. The one with kids. And now that you finally have something she wants, you're withholding it to feel powerful. I was speechless. I'll tell her you said no, Chad continued. But don't expect Christmas to be comfortable this year. He hung up. I was sitting in my apartment, staring at the ring on my finger, when my phone rang again. Unknown number. I almost didn't answer. Hello. Is this my name? Yes. This is Margaret Foster. I was your grandmother Helen's best friend. I sat up straight. Mrs. Foster? Yes, dear. I heard through the grapevine about some family trouble. About Helen's ring. How did you? Small town, big mouths. I wanted to call because I think you should know something. Something your grandmother never wanted your sister to know, but I think you have a right to hear it now. What is it? Mrs. Foster took a deep breath. About 30 years ago, when your mother and Aunt Karen were both getting married, your grandmother had 2 rings. Her engagement ring, the one you're wearing, and her mother's ring, a diamond from the 1920s. Beautiful piece. Worth quite a bit. I've never seen that ring. That's because your mother insisted on having it. She was the older daughter. She thought she deserved the better ring. Your grandmother tried to explain that both rings had equal sentimental value, but your mother wouldn't let it go. She made a huge scene. Said if she didn't get the diamond, she'd elope and your grandmother would never see her grandchildren. My stomach dropped. What happened? Your grandmother gave her the diamond, and your mother wore it for exactly 5 years. Then one day, she came to your grandmother and said she'd lost it. Just lost it. Your grandmother was heartbroken. That ring had been in the family for 3 generations. Did she really lose it? Your grandmother never said, but she always suspected your mother had sold it. Times were tight back then. Your father was between jobs. I think your mother sold the ring and told everyone she'd lost it. And now your mother is pressuring you to give Lily your ring the same way she pressured your grandmother to give her that diamond. History repeating itself. Did my grandmother know this would happen? Oh, honey. Why do you think she specifically told you not to let anyone pressure you? She knew exactly what your mother and sister were like. She'd lived it herself. I started crying. Thank you, I whispered. Thank you for telling me. You hold on to that ring, Mrs. Foster said firmly. Don't you dare give it to your sister. Your grandmother wanted you to have it for a reason. She trusted you. Honor that trust. I called Jake and told him everything. We're eloping, he said immediately. What? I'm serious. Your family is toxic. We're not giving them the satisfaction of a big wedding where they can pressure you more. We're eloping. This weekend, if possible. Jake. Or we can wait until we're ready. But either way, we're not letting them control our engagement. We're not letting them guilt you out of your grandmother's ring. We're drawing a line. I loved him so much in that moment. Okay, I said. Let's elope. We got married 2 weeks later at a courthouse with 2 witnesses we found in the hallway. It was perfect. No stress. No family drama. Just us. I wore a simple white dress. He wore a suit. We exchanged vows we'd written ourselves. And I wore my grandmother's ring. It fit perfectly. Like it was always meant to be there. We posted photos on social media that evening. Didn't tell anyone in advance. Just, we got married. Couldn't be happier. The reactions were mixed. Jake's family, congratulations. So happy for you both. My friends, OMG. You look beautiful. My family, silence. Then, an hour later, my phone started ringing. Mom first. How could you get married without telling us? We wanted something simple. You eloped to spite your sister. I eloped because I loved Jake and didn't want to deal with family drama on my wedding day. This is because of the ring, isn't it? You got married in secret so Lily couldn't ask to borrow it at the wedding. Lily shouldn't have been asking to borrow it at all. You're cruel. You're selfish. And you've destroyed this family. I wore my grandmother's ring at my wedding like she wanted. That's all that matters to me. Mom hung up. Lily texted, "Hope you're happy. You got exactly what you wanted. A wedding without your family. Enjoy your lonely life." I blocked her. The final revelation came 3 days after the wedding.
My dad called.
Not angry. Just tired. "I need to tell you something," he said. "Okay. Your mother told me to pressure you about the ring. But I've been thinking about it. About what your grandmother would have wanted. And I owe you an apology." Dad. No, let me finish. Your mother has always been competitive with you girls, pitting you against each other. And I've always just gone along with it to keep the peace. But I was wrong. What are you saying? I'm saying I believe you. About what Grandma told you. And I think she was right to give you that ring specifically. I think she knew Lily would lose it or sell it or demand something bigger and better eventually. Dad. Lily lost her ring 2 months ago. She told us she lost it at the gym. But last week, I found a receipt in her purse. She pawned it. For $8,000. Told Chad she lost it, collected the insurance money, and kept both. I couldn't breathe. She didn't lose it. She sold it. And now she wants her grandmother's ring to replace it, so Chad won't find out what she did. Does Mom know? I told her this morning. She's in denial. Says there must be some explanation.
But I know what I saw.
And I'm sorry I pressured you. You were right to protect that ring.
Thank you, Dad.
Congratulations on your marriage. I wish I could have been there. But I understand why you didn't invite us. You deserved a day without this family's drama. It's been 4 months since the wedding. Lily and I don't speak. Mom and I have a surface-level relationship, birthday texts, that kind of thing. Dad comes to visit sometimes, without Mom. Chad found out about the pawned ring. They're in marriage counseling. Aunt Karen stopped talking to me entirely, which is honestly a relief. But here's the thing. I'm happy. Jake and I have a beautiful little life together. We're looking at houses. Talking about maybe starting a family in a few years. Building something real. And every time I look at my hand, I see my grandmother's ring. The ring she specifically chose to give me. The ring she told me to protect. And I'm so glad I listened to her. Last week, I received a letter in the mail. No return address. But I recognized the handwriting. It was from Lily. I know you probably won't believe this, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry I asked for your ring. I'm sorry I pressured you. I'm sorry I made everything about me when it was really about you and Grandma. You were right. The ring was yours. Grandma gave it to you for a reason. And I think she knew I wouldn't take care of it. That I'd see it as a thing instead of a memory. I pawned my ring. Chad knows now. We're trying to work through it. But I keep thinking about how I was willing to take yours. How I was willing to guilt you and manipulate you and turn the whole family against you just to cover up my own mistakes. That makes me a terrible person. I don't expect you to forgive me. I wouldn't forgive me. But I wanted you to know that you were right. About everything. I hope you're happy. I hope Jake is good to you. I hope you think of Grandma every time you look at that ring and remember that she loved you enough to protect you from people like me.
Lily.
I read the letter 3 times. Then I put it in a drawer and went back to making dinner. Maybe someday I'll respond. Maybe someday we'll rebuild our relationship. But for now, I'm okay with the distance. Because I learned something important through all of this. Some people will always want what you have. Some people will use family as a weapon to guilt you into giving up what's yours. Some people will never understand that sentimental value isn't transferable. And sometimes, the best thing you can do is hold on to what matters and let everyone else deal with their own choices. I look at my grandmother's ring every day. It's scratched from wear. The gold is worn thin in places. The sapphire has a tiny chip that catches the light. It's perfect. And every time I see it, I remember Grandma's voice. Promise me you won't let anyone pressure you into giving it up. I promised. And I kept that promise. Because some inheritances aren't just about jewelry or money or things. Some inheritances are about trust, about being chosen, about being loved enough that someone protects you even after they're gone. And that kind of inheritance? That's worth more than anything. That's worth protecting. That's worth keeping, no matter who asks, no matter who pressures, no matter who calls you selfish for honoring the person who loved you most.